Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Chiranjit Mishra and today we are going to discuss the news articles of News Today January 7. But as is customary, let's go through the headlines first. There are 14 news items in total, 5 major news and 9 minor news. Again, the good thing is that many complex sounding news titles are related. Okay, so that will help your brain to retain faster. So the first main news is Pragati platform for e-governance, and the 50th meeting just ended. That's why the number 50. Affordable housing, Niti Aayog report, because urbanization is rapidly increasing. So how the migrants from small towns and villages can be accommodated? So housing plan report was submitted by Niti Aayog. Decline in NPAs. So now the balance sheets of the commercial banks or including public sector banks have improved because there has been a decline in non-performing assets, which are one big headache for all the banks. Then the next news is Triple P projects for the next 3 years. Okay, that means public-private partnership projects. For that, a roadmap was submitted by the Department of Economic Affairs, DEA. And the last piece of news is related to Arctic thawing, that because the Arctic region is disproportionately affected due to global warming, although the whole of the world is affected, but Arctic circle, the glaciers and all the ice sheets are actually melting rapidly because that particular region is, as I mentioned in the beginning, disproportionately affected by climate change. Let's go through quickly the minor news items. The first one is the importance of grasslands in ecological conservation and tackling climate change, because we often focus on forests or trees or visible flora, and grasslands are often ignored. That's why the United Nations declared 2026 as the International Years of Pastures and Grasslands. Second one is Pimba effect simulation. Using supercomputer, we actually modeled a very special phenomenon which is not normally observed in nature. We'll discuss that. Stellar twins and star evolution. So ARIES, using Devasthal optical telescope, studied binary star systems. Binary star systems, as the name is very suggestive, that means a closed system of two stars, and how they behave and how, using the lights emitted by these stars, the evolution can be explained, and future of isolated stars like the sun can also be traced. HPCL Visakhapatnam refinery upgradation. Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited has going to adopt a new technology which is called hydrocracking to use the bottom of the barrel crude oils, so that the bottom of the barrel crude oils can be processed and new refined products can be obtained. BIS shift from regulation to facilitation, Bureau of Indian Standards, which is a regulatory body, but Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of Consumer Affairs has said that if India is to become the Viksit Bharat, that is what we have set the target for 2047, then the regulatory role has to get modified to a facilitative role. Okay. Thwaites Glacier destabilization. Again, this is a glacier in the Antarctic region, which is actually a mother glacier or super glacier. If that melts, there is a prediction that the sea level will rise by at least 2 feet. So again, it's a problematic thing. The second last news is ISRO's cosmic dust detector. Cosmic dusts are emitted. Earth receives a cluster of cosmic dusts every 1000 seconds, and they play an important role in sharing evidence about the evolution of the solar system. The last one is star rating norm changes, which is again set by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. We'll see how the initial cost can be very expensive for certain gadgets or devices, but it will help in managing environment related challenges. And the place in news today is Venezuela. So without delaying, let's start. The first news is Pragati at 50, which is very important from the point of view of GS paper 2. Okay. Pragati, I think it was covered just a few days ago. I had covered it, which is called Proactive Governance and Timely Implementation. So it's an acronym, and of course it's important from the point of view of governance, e-governance. Several questions have been asked from e-governance section, not exactly on Pragati, but you can use this piece of news or Pragati as a concept to enrich your GS paper 2 answers. Questions asked in GS paper 2. So 50, that doesn't mean that Pragati just turned 50. It's been 50 years since its inception. No. Pragati was launched in the year 2015. Okay. It was launched in the year 2015. So it's been nearly 10 years. But the 50th meeting took place yesterday. That is why Pragati added at 50. Now it was introduced to facilitate interdepartmental coordination in implementing big projects. Because जहाँ पे several departments are involved, there always some hurdle or bottleneck. You have to get clearance from one department, then speak to the authority in the other department. That takes a lot of time. And also certain projects become the project implementation becomes slow and very tardy. As a result of which, Pragati came into being. And Pragati has three important parts, just like yesterday. First, it has a digital database. ठीक है? Database इसमें geospatial tagging. That means wherever in India a project is being carried out, its real-time implementation will be shown in this portal, Pragati. पहला हो गया database, it records everything. Second हो गया geospatial tagging. Now no officer can lie or get involved in any corrupt activity or show false reports by saying that this project has been almost completed. Why? Because it's satellite imagery. Using satellites, everything can be captured and the real progress can be taken into, can be easily viewed. So that's why geospatial tagging is another important feature of Pragati. The third one is video conferencing. Starting from the Prime Minister to Union Secretaries and State Chief Secretaries, they can take part in meetings to discuss the efficiency of certain projects. Okay, so that is what is the role of Pragati. So it has three essential features as I listed out. So now let's briefly go through its achievements about Pragati. Integrates accountability, transparency and timely decision making into the administrative process. Because India had introduced National E-Governance Plan and we have Digital India Mission. So if you're not going to harness the power of digital technology, then what is the use of having so many digital linked projects or missions? Okay, so the first is to ease the process of governance, and the governance can be made easy only by using digital devices or portals like Pragati. Promotes the spirit of cooperative federalism. As I said, union secretaries can discuss matters with state chief secretaries, and also Prime Minister's office or PMO sits at the top. That means all the state governments and the central government, they can interact on one single platform. Team India Spirit PM meets since its inception. Around 500 secretaries of government of India and chief secretaries have taken part in various meetings. Not at a time. ये at a time नहीं हुआ है, ठीक है? ये at a time नहीं हुआ है. This 500 over a period of 10 years. So many people, important people, have taken part in the meetings. ठीक है? Next, key transformative role played by Pragati. High project resolution rate. जब से ये आया है, many projects which are lying idle, there was no progress in those projects. Ever since Pragati came into being, 94% of the issues related to various projects have been resolved, which is an achievement in itself. Unlocked long pending projects like Jammu Srinagar Rail Link. It was introduced in the year 1994. That means nearly 31 years ago. But now because of Pragati, thanks to Pragati, the project got some momentum. Otherwise it was lying idle, no progress was made. It has reduced time delays, cost overruns. Cost overruns means every project gets an earmarked amount of money. If the amount of money exceeds that particular set target of money that we have decided to use, that results in cost overrun. Pragati as a measure can be included in a question on and about good governance. Okay, you may not get a dedicated question on Pragati in prelims or mains, but you can use this particular example to enrich your answer in a question on good governance or cooperative federalism. Okay. और कुछ नहीं है. These are the questions. You can pause the video and just see कौन से questions आए थे in 2023. E-governance as a critical tool of governance. So many questions. The emergence of fourth industrial revolution, and thus the context was set for e-governance in 2019, and another question in 2018. Now let's move to the second question. Second story. The second main news, which is about Niti Aayog's report on urban housing. Okay, affordable urban housing. Affordable, what is very important. Affordable, why? See, now India's urban population is close to 35%, as per different reports, 35 to 40. But in 2050, nearly over 900 plus million people would be living in cities. Okay, so many people will be living in cities. And why people get attracted to cities? For better employment opportunities. But only employment opportunities cannot be considered as a factor. We need something more. People from smaller towns, villages are coming. They need proper accommodation. वो कहाँ पे रहेंगे? That is why cities are expanding, but in a very haphazard manner. That's why so many challenges. You can see traffic jam in Gurgaon, in Delhi NCR region, or you go to Hyderabad or Chennai, in Chennai, there's so many urban floods. Even if the amount of rainfall was not very high, because of poor planning, the problem got heightened. Okay, so to get rid of such problems, we need proper planning. We need to accommodate the people who migrate from smaller towns and villages to cities. Uske liye Niti Aayog has shared a report. Another problem is that whenever people from smaller towns come, they get settled in the outskirt areas. This is the main city. If I say ये main city हो गया, sorry, this one. Okay, the city grows radially, they get settled here. They start to live in ghettos, GHETTOS, or poorly constructed areas. That means the quality of life is degraded. Taking into consideration all these challenges, a report has been submitted by Niti Aayog. Okay, let's go through the report. It defines affordable housing by size and value thresholds. Okay, because a city can have different areas, or a state can have different areas. Metropolitan ho gaya, sub-metropolitan, and smaller towns. So it has been divided into two parts. One is your metropolitan area and another is non-metropolitan. And you know that houses in metropolitan areas like Delhi, Bombay, they're very high as compared to smaller towns. If you go to say any budding city in Uttar Pradesh or Bihar, okay, even the state capital Patna is not, living there is not as expensive as it would be in a big city like Delhi or Gurgaon. Okay, that's why smaller space has been taken into consideration. What is affordable housing? Any housing which is a maximum area of 60 square meters. 60 square meters. That means 1 meter is equal to say 3.3 feet. Okay, 1 meter is equal to 3.3 feet. 1 meter square is equal to 3.3 into 3.3 is equal to 10.89 meters feet square. ठीक है, 60 into multiply कर दो, it will be close to 660 feet square. So that is the maximum size of a affordable housing in metropolitan area, and the cost should be less than 60 lakhs. Similarly, non-metropolitan areas के लिए it's 90 meters square. You may see the number is slightly higher because the prices of the houses would be slightly lower in non-metropolitan areas, even if the space is bigger. The PM Awas Yojana is already there, which aligns size criteria, caps value at 45 lakh. Okay? It is in alignment with the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Proposes affordable housing zones in city master plans. That simply means if this is a city, okay, a city is not square shaped normally, but let's assume it's square shaped for a easy understanding. That means some spaces have to be earmarked. कि this will be affordable housing, इस यहाँ पे होगा. Why? Because currently there is no proper planning. It's absolutely haphazard. कहीं पे भी कुछ भी उठ जाए, ठीक है? That means any good plan should start with clarity. Clarity in earmarking. That means dedicated zones are going to be there in cities to provide affordable housing. कहाँ पे accommodate करेंगे? Minimum 10% residential land earmarked for affordable housing. Again, मान लीजिए this is a city and this area has been marked for housing. इसका 10% around इतना will be dedicated for or devoted to affordable housing. This is the entire city. This is the area earmarked for housing, and of the total area of housing, this 10% will be for affordable housing. ठीक है? Let's move to the next slide. There is nothing else to understand. Key recommendations on affordable housing क्या क्या बताए? These recommendations are by the Niti Aayog. First of all, zoning reforms. Zoning reforms मतलब as I said, 10% residential area mark हो जाएगा. Transit oriented development. See, sometimes we have to take into consideration how far the mediums or media of transport are, how far they are from the housing zones. For example, अगर यहाँ पे housing है और ये metro line है, you have to travel this much, or this is the highway जहाँ से you have to take a bus to your office. It becomes it's very time consuming. You have to spend so much time in traveling. So smart city planning always takes into consideration how far the various modes of transport are from housing zones. That means अगर ये घर है, we'll make sure cluster ऐसे हो कि ये this is close to the metro line, ताकि there will be less pollution, people will travel less, people don't have to rely upon cabs and buses to get to the metro station. Okay. Reservation for EWS LIG housing. This is a very important fact. EWS means economically weaker sections, and LIG means low income groups. Okay. What happens, as I said in the beginning, when migrants come from smaller towns and villages, they tend to live in the outskirts of the city. In a way, they get dissociated from the mainstream or the richer sections of the city. So that creates a class difference. Now it has been made mandatory that whenever there is a building or construction project, एक building में some stories or spaces have to be reserved for weaker sections. Just like you have quota system in your entrance exams and other government jobs. Okay, यहाँ पे भी quota system आ जाएगा. Last is rental housing legal framework reforms. People who are preparing for civil services, you know, the rents are very high in old Rajendra Nagar or Mukherjee Nagar. Okay, or you are living anywhere else in any other part of the country. Now the government is going to provide rental houses. Okay, so the rents won't be exorbitantly high. They'll be moderated, managed by the government. So these are the suggestions. Questions from urbanization or related to urbanization. One appeared in 2023 and the other in 2019. One was related to you can say, urban mass transport, and the other urbanization. Regarding affordable housing, there was no dedicated question. Again, your understanding and the facts that you just saw in these slides, previous slides, you can incorporate those facts in your answer. Don't expect that dedicated question will come on affordable urban housing. Okay, but the points can be incorporated in related questions or themes. Next is gross non-performing assets NPA of banks fall to multi-decade low. There was a problem when we started a preparation, or like 7-8 years ago, twin balance sheet problem. 2016 2015-16 economic survey में Arvind Subramaniam was the chief economic advisor, and under his supervision the economic survey was published. It was a very informative economic survey, and it shed light upon a problem called twin balance sheet problem. Twin balance sheet BS problem or challenge. That means the balance sheets of the banks and the corporate sector were both affected. Banks balance sheets होते क्या हैं? Assets and liabilities are listed down. If the assets are high, that means the balance sheet shows that the company is a healthy company or healthy bank. If the liabilities are high, that means the health of the bank or the company is not very good. NPAs क्या होते हैं? Liabilities होते हैं, non-performing assets. And what are non-performing assets? If I want to take a loan from the bank and the bank gives me loan, but I'm not paying interest or principal or the bank installments for more than 90 degrees या फिर उससे ज़्यादा, my loan will be considered as non-performing asset. That means I'm not an asset for the bank. Had I been paying monthly installments in time, had I been paying principal and interest in time, I would have been regarded as an asset. But because I'm not paying, I'm an NPA. Okay, तो 90 days से अगर greater than equal to हो गया, either interest or principal, you became an NPA. And there were so many NPAs. I mean, the percentage of NPAs to total cash or capital availability for the bank was very high. That means if the banks had, say, 1,000 rupees, they had 400 rupees of NPAs. So it's not a good thing. If the NPAs rise unregulated, then the bank may collapse. Okay, that is why it's a good sign that the gross NPAs have come down. Okay, now what is gross NPA and what is net NPA? We'll check in the next slide. I have not mentioned the definition, but I'll tell you what it is. Okay, difference between GNPA and NNPA. We all know that what is the difference between GDP and NDP? We deduct depreciation. Every time we reach from anything gross to anything net, we deduct something. To reach from gross to net, you have to subtract something. Something has to be subtracted. In the case of GDP, it was depreciation. Okay? यहाँ पे depreciation नहीं होता, यहाँ पे होता है provisioning. Provisioning. People from commerce background can easily catch it. Okay? What is provisioning? Provisioning means being futuristic about your liabilities. I am a bank. I know that not all the loanees who have taken loans from me will be in a position to pay back. I know. Out of 100, say 5 will default. Okay? 5 तो default करेंगे. So what should I do? I should make sure that ये जो 5 defaulters हैं और potential defaulters हैं, I should earmark some money out of my profit. I'm earning profit. I should earmark a chunk of my profit so that they will act as cushion in case I am hurt because of these 5 defaulters. अगर ये 5 लोग मेरे पैसा ले के डूब जाते हैं या फिर मुझे ले डुबाने की कोशिश करते हैं, there will be some amount of money earmarked which is called provisioning, which will actually provide a cushioning effect. ठीक है? Cushioning effect हो जाएगा. It's called provisioning. And when we talk about GNPA, that means we are calculating the entire NPA plus provisioning. NPA, non-performing assets plus the provisioning, the amount of the profits of the banks that have been earmarked for providing cushion, provisioning. ठीक है? जो provisioning करता है वो अच्छा बैंक है, and RBI has made it mandatory that provisioning is very essential. That's why we come across a term called capital adequacy ratio. आपको पता है ना? एक term आता है capital adequacy ratio. Out of the total capital, how much or what percentage is used for provisioning? ठीक है? And if we remove provisioning from GNPA, if you remove provisioning from GNPA, I hope it's visible. GNPA से provisioning हटा देंगे, we'll get net NPA. ठीक है? Okay, that means GNPA is always higher than NNPA. Okay. The gross NPAs of banks fell to 2.1%. Okay. Net NPAs declined further to 0.5%. As you can see, gross NPAs are always high. That means provisioning 1.6% of the total capital. GNPA ratio earlier peaked at 11.18%. See, the ratio is so high. 11.1% से 18% से it fell down to 2.1%. That means nearly 90% कम हो गया, nearly 90% कम हो गया, और 80% कम हो गया सर, 80%. ठीक है, I hope you have understood. So if a question is asked about the health of the banks, Indian banks, you can mention this as a point, that there has been a very reasonable decline in both NNPAs and GNPAs. You can mention the amounts, the figures also. Factors and challenge. High NPAs reduce lending capacity. Of course, if most of your money is gone, what will be available to lend? Banks करते क्या? They accept deposits and they lend money. Economic slowdown, frauds, poor monitoring drive NPS. NPS के factors क्या होते हैं? पहले तो economic slowdown. Just like during the COVID, productivity came down, people's employment statuses were affected. That's why whatever they had loaned, the mortgages, everything was gone. They were not able to repay the loans. But the central bank came up with some temporary respite that you may stop paying now. You can stop paying your installments after a couple of months, or if the situation improves. But जो भी हो, whenever there is an economic slowdown, and if I have taken a loan, I'll default. Why? Because my salary will be affected, my total income will be affected. Similarly, poor monitoring, just like in the case of Vijay Mallya. I won't say poor monitoring, there was some, somebody was complicit in that case. But again, if you don't value the background, you don't make an assessment of the loanee or the loan taker properly, you may land in trouble. You need to have proper idea about his earning potential. Only then loan is granted. This is the normal procedure, but sometimes big players, they either fool the banks by showing like false balance sheets and other asset related documents, and they manage to grab large loans. Steps taken क्या क्या है? Insolvency bankruptcy code. This helps because it's a code for weak companies. The companies that are not doing well, they can either be sold or its assets can be directly sold. Either the company can be sold to a new buyer, okay, and or if nobody is interested in buying that sick company, its assets are sold and bank can get its money. Because of this code, the procedure has actually made it very swift. So the banks don't have to suffer if a company which took loan from them defaults. SARFAESI Act, ये act के तहत आप देखोगे, for example, somebody has purchased a car and is not able to pay back the loan. सीधा गुंडे वुंडे आएंगे banks के, they'll take your car from you, and the bank will sell the car and get its money back. Asset reconstruction companies, sometimes the bank can sold their loans to other companies. Okay, that means I am a bank and I am not sure that the guy who took loan from me or this particular asset can turn into liability. I'll say, if there is an insurance company, these are like insurance companies, they'll buy my loan. And again, the burden is shifted from the banks to ARCs. Bank recapitalization reforms improved asset quality. Capital infusion means when money is infused by the central bank to, or the Ministry of Finance to scheduled commercial banks. So that improves their lending capacity. That's all about the news. UPSC में question क्या था regarding capital adequacy ratio, ठीक है, which is related to provisioning and NPS. You can pause the video and take note of the question. The fourth important news is 3-year public-private partnership project pipeline. ठीक है, GS paper 3 से important है. ठीक है. Again, this is a news related to Pragati, because Pragati is the monitoring body. It's a portal using which we can monitor different projects. And all the BBB projects will be monitored through Pragati. That is why I had said in the beginning that many news items are related. Okay, Pragati is related to BBB. Why? From the point of view of GS, it's going to make it easy for you. Because BBB projects सारे भारी भरकम projects होते हैं. Those projects which the government wants to undertake but is not in a position to do solely or singularly. It takes the help of the private player. कि आओ मिलके कुछ करते हैं. I have very good vision. This is what the government says. I have very good vision, but I alone cannot be able to accomplish it. So I need your help. And do you think the private players immediately agree? चलो मिलके करते हैं? No. Sometimes the projects are so big, the private players get disinterested. That is why a proper roadmap is required. If you don't tell them कि stage 1 ये है, second stage ये है project का, third stage ये है, इतना पैसा आएगा, this is the clearances are going to be obtained from different ministries. If these many things are shared with the private player, only then they will be interested in undertaking that project. Because private players or private companies, they work for profit. If there is no profit, then there is no chance of their involvement. If you want to involve private players, you have to create a proper roadmap. And this news is all about a roadmap creation for the next 3 years. आने वाले 3 सालों में क्या क्या प्रोजेक्ट्स करेंगे और कैसे करेंगे, ठीक है. PPP is defined as long-term public-private contractual arrangement. The full form is public-private partnership. Public-private partnership. ठीक है. Ministry of Finance created 3-year PPP project pipeline. Pipeline means roadmap. There is no pipeline. You must have remembered there was national pipeline in national infrastructure pipeline. उसमें क्या होता है ना, for creating different infrastructures we have to create roadmaps. That means planning, step by step planning. कहाँ होगा, कौन से departments related हैं, what are the clearances required, how much money is going to be spent, detailed project reports, everything. Only when the roadmaps are very clear, private players take interest. Okay, I'm repeatedly saying that. Pipeline includes 852 projects. इतने सारे projects होंगे worth over 17 lakh crore. अगर डॉलर में करेंगे तो कितना हो जाएगा, डिवाइडेड बाय 9 कर दो, इंटू 10 to the power 12, ठीक है. और ये हो गया आपका क्लोज टू 2 into 10 to the power 12, एंड ये करोड़ हो गया. और आपका 100 करोड़ 1 बिलियन होता है, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे हो जाएगा 2 into 10 to the power 10. इट मीन कम से कम ये $20 बिलियन का प्रोजेक्ट है, ठीक है. डिफरेंट PPP मॉडल्स क्या क्या हैं? हाँ, सॉरी आई मिस दिस पॉइंट. प्रोवाइड्स अर्ली विजिबिलिटी फॉर इन्वेस्टर्स एंड डेवलपर्स, ठीक है. एज ए सेड, this visibility is for the private players. If they don't understand what is the outcome of the project and what are the timelines and targets, they won't invest. Only when roadmaps are ready, they will show interest or inclination towards getting involved. Different PPP models क्या हो सकते हैं? This is very important from the GS perspective, from prelims and mains. BOT होगा build, operate, transfer. इसमें क्या करता है? The private player कंस्ट्रक्ट करता है, ऑपरेट करता है, रास्ते को ट्रांसफर कर देता है, ऑपरेट करता है टिल इट गेट्स इनफ टोल, उसका पैसा वसूली हो गया, देन द ओनरशिप इज ट्रांसफर टू द गवर्नमेंट. इसमें क्या होता है? डिजाइन, बिल्ड, फाइनेंस, ऑपरेट. दिस इज अनदर मॉडल. इसमें पूरा डिजाइनिंग, प्लानिंग सब करता है. इसमें डिजाइनिंग गवर्नमेंट करता है बीओटी में. इन DBFO, एज अ नेम इज वेरी सजेस्टिव, D stands for designing, it is done by the private player. EPC means engineering, procurement and construction model. इसमें government spends the entire amount. Only the engineering technologies, they are taken from the private player. But A to Z, everything is done by the government. HAM is a model which takes into consideration both EPC and BOT. Hybrid annuity model. 40% पैसा इसमें government खुद लगा लेगा अपना. In HAM, hybrid annuity model is another PPP model in which government spends 40% at the beginning, upfront payment होता है. The remaining 60% is managed by the private players. ये private player खुद जुगाड़ करता है, but the government pays it annually. हर साल के एंड में वो देता रहता है कुछ कुछ अमाउंट till the entire 60% is covered. Okay. PPP needs to bridge 4.5 trillion infrastructure gap by 2030. 2030 तक 4.5 ट्रिलियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ठीक है. VGF, IIPDF, FDI, this is your viability gap funding. ये होता क्या है? VGF, viability gap funding. This is also a component of the triple P model. Whenever the government wants to invest in social infrastructure, schools हो गए, hospitals हो गए, ठीक है, in which there is no profit motive, the private sector is hesitant. Private sector ये बोलता है, it's such a huge project, but it is not of any kind of use for me because the initial capital is very high and it sounds like a loss-making project. To just make the project look viable, ठीक है, एक viability gap मतलब ये मान लीजिए this point में the tick mark is for having faith in the project, negative mark for no faith in the project. There is a gap. This gap को government कुछ initial payment दे देता है कि take this much amount so that the product looks profitable for you. This gap filling is called viability gap filling. That means making the project viable for the private players. At least they will have some faith. Government अगर कुछ funding उनको देता है तो. IIPDF क्या होता है? This is before a project takes place. India Infrastructure Project Development Fund. India Infrastructure Project Development Fund. इसमें क्या होता है? Before every project starts, there is detailed mapping. Okay, the financial assessment is properly done. All the clearances and approval that have to be taken, they are listed down. That also requires a lot of effort and money. For that part of the project, any project beginner, it can be a ministry or a department, it can get some money through IIPDF. That is for the initial part of the project. And then they will attract bidders. The government says, who can pay me? Who is the player who wants to take less money from me and efficiently carry out the project? Only that player will be chosen. जो government से कम पैसा लेके complete the project in time. So before the bidding is done, the player takes some money from IIPDF, and then once the player has been chosen, I mean the particular private player who is going to carry out the project, for it viability gap funding is required, if at all it is required. Okay? So I hope you understood the difference between this and this. This is pre-project, this is post-project. I mean post-project acceptance. Okay? These are the important concepts, nothing else. Questions क्या आए थे ये देख लो. Public private partnership, examine the development of airports in India through joint ventures. You can pause the video. Very important topic and it requires very less effort. सिर्फ 15 मिनट के एफर्ट में you can easily get 10 से 7-8 मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे और 15 से 10 मार्कर से थे 15 अगर आया तो 7.58 मिल जाएगा. ठीक है. So don't lose the marks by not putting an effort to thoroughly secure this topic. Okay. The next topic in the final main news is the issue of Arctic thaw. Thawing means melting of ice. Okay. So what are the challenges? As we all know, surprisingly, when the Arctic ice melts, there are certain benefits, but we should not be cruel. We should not be that cruel to enjoy the benefits because of the Arctic ice melting. Okay. It's very surprising, and some people also try to take advantage of it. Why? Because जब ice melt होता है, new sea routes open. Okay, that's why the United States and Russia were trying to capitalize on that. But we should not expect the Arctic ice sheets to melt completely, because that is going to affect the entire movement of water currents, the oceanic current movements, and ultimately it is going to have an impact on the climate of the world. Okay, let's see the important points or facts related to Arctic melting. How Arctic region is experiencing a rise in temperature 4 times faster than the rest of the globe. ठीक है, पूरी दुनिया तो एक्सपीरियंस कर रही है rise in global temperature, but Arctic region is experiencing that change 4 times faster than the rest of the globe. And 2025 was the warmest year for the Arctic region. Okay, छोटी सी न्यूज़ है, बहुत टाइम नहीं लेगा. Arctic warming nearly 4 times global average, which is called Arctic amplification. Okay, why there is an albedo effect? पता है albedo effect क्या होता है? Albedo is the ability of a surface to reflect sunlight. Albedo, ठीक है. High albedo means high reflection. Anything which is white in color reflects more light. So ice की albedo is very high as compared to ocean or sea water. Once ice melts, what forms? Ocean, sea water बन जाता है, ठीक है, because the frozen material becomes liquid now. And oceans or seas are dark in color. They absorb more light. That means, in a way, it's going to double the effect of global warming. Heat trapping. एक तो वो सनलाइट को दूर फेंकता था, वो चला गया, उसके जगह में बन गए पानी. And that amplifies the heating process. That is called Arctic amplification. We lose ice and in return we get water, which lowers the albedo and traps more heat. 2025 warmest Arctic year बता दिया. Oldest sea ice declined over 95% since 1980s. मतलब अगर 100 था अभी 5 बचा है वो. The oldest sea ice. Melting accelerates global sea level rise risk. एक एंटार्क्टिका में भी है, हम जो पढ़ेंगे थ्वाइट्स और डूम्सडे ग्लेशियर, similar thing. So one major news item and minor news item are related. Loss of albedo amplifies regional warming, as I explained. Some accidental or unwanted benefits are new shipping routes emerging in Arctic waters, access to oil, gas, mineral increasing competition, indigenous livelihoods threatened by ecosystem disruption. This is a negative point. Arctic governance gaining strategic geopolitical importance. That is why many people, the nearby countries which are member of the Arctic group, or they are trying to get hold of the new sea routes. And Arctic circle में कौन से आते हैं? Canada हो गया, because Alaska is there, US भी आता है, Russia, Denmark. Okay, so this worsens the condition because now there is a lot of greed. Competition is driven by greed. Who is going to get hold of the new sea routes? Question एक था Endark पे. This is India's mission in Norway, below sea project to study ocean water circulation. ठीक है. एक और क्वेश्चन भी था, आई थिंक इनडायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन, मीथेन हाइड्रेट, जो कि कभी कभी फ्रोजन आइस में भी मिलता है. वन सच पॉइंट वाज दिस, फाउंड इन आर्कटिक टंड्रा. डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन कभी नहीं है. हाउ डू मेल्टिंग ऑफ द आर्कटिक आइस एंड ग्लेशियर्स ऑफ द एंटार्क्टिक डिफरेंटली अफेक्ट द वेदर पैटर्न्स एंड ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज? दिस इज a directly related question which is asked in the mains exam, 10 markers. Okay. Venezuela is the news, is a place in the news, and we all know why. Because of the capture of the Venezuelan president by the United States, and it has actually created a lot of negative sentiments around the world. It has not been well taken, neither by India nor by the United Nations. It's a matter of deep concern, deeply concerned over possible intensification. That is why Venezuela is in the news. Capital is Caracas, C-A-R-A-C-A-S, not Caracas, जिसका मतलब होता है dead bodies. It's Caracas. Borders with Colombia, Brazil and Guyana. This is your Guyana, which lies to the east of Venezuela. Brazil हो गया पूरा south में, and Colombia. So Venezuela is actually a northern South American country. If this is the whole of the South America, it is a northern South American country. Okay. Capital is Caracas, which is a coastal city. And you will be surprised to know that the Andes mountain range also goes through Venezuela. यहाँ पे Andes भी आता है, ठीक है? Andes mountain passes. Colombia, Ecuador, Chile होके Venezuela में भी जाता ही है, ठीक है? Orinoco River is the largest river that flows through it. And this is a peak, mountain peak called Pico Bolivar, which is the highest point, and its height is close to 5 kilometers. That's it. Okay, you may expect a question both in prelims and mains. In mains, it will be generalized question about neo-imperialism or neo-colonialism. In prelims, it may ask about South American countries. Who knows? Okay. पहले इजराइल के ऊपर भी बहुत पूछा. Quick updates. Let's go through them quickly. The importance of grasslands. कोई ऐसा बहुत करंट वाला चीज़ नहीं है. This is important from the point of view of the static topics also, because हमारा जो क्लाइमेट चेंज टैकलिंग है और कंजर्वेशन ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी, दैट इज फॉरेस्ट ओरिएंटेड, which is very normal because forests are made of trees, and trees are more visible than they have a greater visibility than grass or grasslands. That is why all our conservation models are based on trees, but grasses are equally important. Grasslands consist of grasses because grass क्या करता है, it stores carbon in its roots. रूट में स्टोरेज होता है, रूट स्टोर्ड कार्बन. दैट इज वाई वी नीड टू refocus or revisit our green policies related to conservation of biodiversity, and they also house small living organisms. They also contribute to soil fertility, and they're very important from the point of view of pastoral livelihoods because cattle need grass. Okay, and if you have big pastures, then definitely the state of dairy industry will be very healthy and good. That is why the United Nations declared 2026 as the year of rangelands and pastoralists. They are resilient to fire and drought, unlike trees which require a lot of water and they water in the form of rainfall, but grasslands survive in area of low rainfall, just like steppe grasses and all that. Okay, that is why it is important. You can add this in your answer related to conservation of forests and green policies. Pimba effect simulation. Pimba effect hota kya hai? It's a very extraordinary effect and it seems very counterintuitive because normally we believe any hot body requires more time to cool down than a colder body. अगर किसी बॉडी का टेम्परेचर है, there are two bodies, इसका टेम्परेचर है 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस and there is another body which is cooler, 20 degrees Celsius. Which of the two bodies will take less time to cool down, say to get 0 degree, to reach 0 degrees Celsius? Of course this one, because 20 degrees closer to 0 degree. But what happens, a guy named Pimba, scientist from Tanzania in 1963, experienced or witnessed something very interesting. There was a class assignment, some very hi-fi thermodynamics related project, not school level assignment. You have to make ice creams. So what he did, he added hot milk with some other agents that are required, and his fellow students, they chose cold milk and they together put everything in the freezer. His hot milk and other agents, they cool down faster than those students who had kept cold or cooler milk in the fridge. So he was surprised, how is it possible? My milk, ये जो मिल्क था, ये इसके मिल्क से ज़्यादा गर्म था, सिर्फ 60 डिग्री सेल्सियस, और ये था 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस, नॉट परसेंटेज, 60 डिग्री सेल्सियस. How was it possible? He informed his professor, and together they listed down different possibilities because of which that happened. See, cooling is not only decided, the rate of cooling is not only decided by the temperature. Of course, the initial temperatures play a very crucial role, but there are other factors. You know why? When mass बहुत बड़ा होता है, that takes a lot of time to cool down, and you know hotter objects experience evaporation. Milk evaporation होता है because it's a liquid. So that means वो भी एक चीज matter करता है. When you evaporate, you lose a lot of material. That means less the amount of material, faster will be the rate of cooling. That is one factor. Another factor is convection currents. ठीक है, जब कोई चीज गर्म या ठंडा होता है, ये ऊपर का मटेरियल पहले ठंडा होगा, it will come down, then नीचे का मटेरियल उठ जाता है. The convection current is very much active in hotter objects. The convection current, which facilitates cooling, is less active in colder objects. So when these factors are taken into consideration, we observe an effect which is called पिम्बा effect. ठीक है, उनके नाम से हो गया था पिम्बा effect. And we studied this phenomenon using supercomputers. That is why it was in the news. Next is stellar twins and star evolution. ARIES जो है आर्यभट्ट research of I think exoplanet research which uses Devasthal optical telescope. ठीक है, I have forgotten the abbreviation, but you can see ARIES. The optical telescopes are different from traditional telescopes. So they study the wavelengths of the lights emitted by stars to know their distance and the properties. And what are twin stars or stellar twins? That means two stars which have similar properties or which are closely related. Sometimes we use certain binary systems or classify binary systems as stellar twins. Binary systems क्या होते हैं? Binary systems, it may sound slightly confusing. Two closely related stars, या फिर एक डम्बल से शेप बना दे, ये स्टार सिस्टम्स. यहाँ पे एक स्टार है, यहाँ पे एक स्टार है. They have a common atmosphere. Or we can have one star here and one star here. These are also twins, these are also twins. The difference is that these are new twins. अभी अभी बने हैं ये, इसलिए the distance is very less. ये जो stars हैं twins, the distance is very great. That means at one point of time they were close, now they are far away. There is also a belief that our sun had a twin. As per a theory, our sun had a twin, but we lost our twin. वो अभी कहाँ हमको पता नहीं. That's why, because stellar twins होता क्या है, many anthropology students may understand and relate. We do twin studies because twin studies help us to understand the growth of one body by studying progresses in another body, its twin. By studying this twin, which is called Ursa Major twin stars, ठीक है, these are binary twins, ऐसे करके twins होंगे. They have a common atmosphere, stellar atmosphere. By studying how variations develop in stellar twins, we can observe the impact of initial gas nebula and the progressive development of stars. And we can use that model to study the evolution of our own planet, own star, that is the sun. Because we don't have sun's twin, only by studying binary systems we can replicate the models for knowing the trajectory that the sun is going to take. We all know that sun is going to get exhausted. It's going to use up all its hydrogen in 5 billion years. But there are different models. How the sun is gradually going to lose or use up its hydrogen. We need better clarity. It will become a red giant and finally its outer layers will get blown away. It will become a white dwarf. ये तो हम सब जानते हैं. But precise level की जो study होती है, that can be done using twin systems. Okay? Twin systems से पता चला कि एक star अगर ऐसा हो रहा है, there is some variation in the other star. Why does that happen? That means what are the factors that decide the fate of a star? So comparable studies करके we can get or obtain knowledge about our sun. ठीक है? Next is HPCL, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, Visakhapatnam, refinery upgradation. In the beginning, I'm going to tell you this is very important from the point of view of Atmanirbhar Bharat, because earlier we used to buy some used up crude oil and produce refined petroleum products. Now we are going to use a technology called hydrocracking. Hydrocracking, जो कि एक important process है. Okay, India is modernizing. Yes, पहले इसको देखते हैं. Hydrocracking क्या है? It's a very complicated technology in which very extremely crude oil can be converted into highly refined petroleum products. मतलब एकदम कचड़े से कचड़ा लेके एकदम हाई क्वालिटी मटेरियल हमको बनाना है. And for that we are going to use hydrocracking, in which we are going to use hydrogen gas in high pressure conditions, okay, and high temperature conditions using some catalysts. As you must have studied in chemistry, complex hydrocarbons होते क्या हैं? Unsaturated hydrocarbons. इसमें बहुत सारे डबल बॉन्ड्स या ट्रिपल बॉन्ड्स होते हैं. इनमें अगर हम हाइड्रोजन डाल देंगे, those who studied arts or commerce, they may simply skip. If you add hydrogen to these, the bonds will weaken and we'll have single bonds. Will have less complex molecules. So hydrocracking is the new technology we're going to using. Why? Because we want to use extremely crude oils or crude petroleum to produce highly refined products. Okay, and instead of buying used up oils from abroad, we can use crude oil in India itself using indigenous technology. That is why this technology is going to be used, which is called hydrocracking. India is modernizing refineries to handle heavy crude oils. Heavy crude oils means the bottom of the barrel, जो सबसे गंदा क्वालिटी का क्रूड ऑयल हो सकता है. Upgrading Vishak refinery, India can refine more types of crude oil domestically. आत्मनिर्भर भारत के point of view से it's very important. That's it. Next is BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, shift from regulation to facilitation. कुछ भी इसका ज़्यादा importance नहीं है. Because again, if you want to upgrade the quality of the products in India, we need to move away from this zone or domain of regulation to zone of facilitation. And Bureau of Indian Standards क्या है? BIS. It's a statutory body that comes under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs. It sets all type of standards, starting from gold rating to earthquake zone mapping. सबका gradation करता है ये. एंड प्रोडक्ट्स भी करता है, जैसे गोल्ड मैंने बता दिया, एंड एग्रोमार्क के लिए होता है, एगमार्क होता है अलग स्टैंडर्ड्स बॉडी, बट ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड्स इट सेट्स, वेट्स, मेजर्स, सब कुछ. बट इन अ वे इट्स रोल इज रेगुलेटरी. इट यूज टू कीप ट्रैक ऑफ द प्रैक्टिसेस विच आर इन द बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द मार्केट. अभी हम लोग चाहते हैं इन अ पर्टिकुलर स्पीच गिवन बाय द मिनिस्टर ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स कि नाउ बिकॉज वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स विकसित भारत 2047, its role has to change from regulatory to facilitative. That is why it was in the news. Okay, it was created in the year 1986 if I'm not wrong, and Bureau of Indian Standards, that's why it's 1986. That means it's nearly 40 years old. But there was a 2015 Amendment Act, Indian Standards Act, as per which new provisions were applied to BIS. That is all you have to know. The ministry, parent ministry is Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Okay. Thwaites Doomsday Glacier destabilization. As we came across, we have already covered the news related to Arctic amplification. This is a similar news, but this is about a particular glacier in the Western Antarctica or West Antarctica, which is called Thwaites or Doomsday Glacier. Doomsday इसलिए बोलते हैं because this glacier has the size of Great Britain. इंग्लैंड, वेल्स और नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड को मिला लो, इंग्लैंड, वेल्स और स्कॉटलैंड को मिला लो, जितना साइज होगा उतना ही बड़ा एक ग्लेशियर है. एंड इफ दिस ग्लेशियर मेल्ट्स, द ग्लेशियर्स around it will also start to melt. That means it is like a checking glacier and is going to play a very crucial role in keeping sea level rise in check. अगर ये मेल्ट हो गया तो बाकी सारे ग्लेशियर्स भी जाएंगे, and that will bring or invite doom. That is why it's called Doomsday Glacier. Thwaites Glacier, key Antarctic ice barrier, ocean warming accelerates ice melting, potential trigger for rapid. तो यूपीएससी में अगर क्वेश्चन आए ये ग्लेशियर कहाँ पे है, आर्कटिक, लेट्स से डेनमार्क, कनाडा, अंटार्कटिका, विल से अंटार्कटिका. इसमें और कुछ नहीं है दिमाग लगाने का. इसरो's cosmic dust detector DEX. अभी हमने stellar twin देखा. It's another related concept. Here we are going to study solar system using cosmic dusts. Cosmic dusts आते कहाँ से हैं? यहाँ से हम dust surface करते हैं, for example from soil और vehicular emission. ठीक है, छोटे छोटे PM जो होते हैं, particulate matter, जिसका बड़ा साइज होता है, they get deposited as dust. ये dust आते हैं from celestial bodies. These dusts come from celestial bodies and have been detected using a dust detector dust detector under the National Physical Laboratory, and ISRO is in charge of this dust collector because ISRO is our chief space research organization. Okay, so इसमें होता क्या, it has detected that every 1000 seconds मतलब close to कितना हो गया 16 minutes we receive clusters of dusts आते हैं, and these are interplanetary dusts coming from other planets or asteroids. And by studying the properties, some dusts may have carbon, some may have phosphorus, we can get to know about the celestial bodies and also the different unknown mysteries of the solar system. Okay, अगर मान लीजिए interstellar dust हो गया, which is very difficult to get from a different solar system, it's very difficult. Most of the dusts are interplanetary or coming from different asteroids and meteorites, sorry, comets. That's it. Star rating norms changes. Again, another standard setting body, which is Bureau of Energy Efficiency. It makes sure that the gadgets and devices we use are environment friendly. So as per this new provision, star rating norm, we are going to, the BEE, that is the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, is going to tell the electronic device manufacturers or other electrical component manufacturers, you have to use good quality components which are environment friendly. And there is a small challenge, the initial input cost is going to be very high because good quality materials need more money. But BE said only the initial cost is going to be high. After that, if you calculate the environmental cost, okay, because of poor quality products, that will get rid of. Okay, so the initial cost is going to be high. As initial cost is going to be high, as BE said, we have to use good quality environment friendly products. ये पैसा ज़्यादा दिख रहा है, but ultimately it's going to lower the environmental economic impact. Okay, कहीं ना कहीं तो फायदा हो ही रहा है, ठीक है. Economic impact. ACs and refrigerators to cost more. Ultimately, the economic cost of pollution will be lowered. Promotes long-term electricity savings. अगर savings भी कम होगा, power consumption कम होगा, then thermal power ही इंडिया में यूज होता है, the requirement will come down. ठीक है. So that's all about today's news today. Again, as you can see, as soon as this session will be over, we will see 6 to 7 questions which you have to take, and do take them and try to make the most of our digital current affairs. Okay, wish you all the very best.